Hello there, it's a fine Sunday evening and that just means one thing to all of us here, Colours of India, the show that brings you up to speed about all the fun things happening in the world of art, music and culture. So what do you say? Let's take a quick look at the main stories before getting on with the show. This week we bring you the Flying Angels. This is followed by a tribute to womanhood. And then of course, we round it all off with some fine food. Trained acrobats flew across the night sky, creating a sort of magic at Bonjour India, the multi-city art festival by the French government. Now we bring you the Flying Angels.
The French gave new definition and meaning to the word grand finale when the Flying Angels graced the skies on the last day of Bonjour India. At a specially constructed and tightly packed part of Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, 30 trained acrobats flew across the night sky, bringing with them showers of glittery magic and great romance.
It's a very good attempt that this kind of thing can come to India, and it's a circus, acrobats. It's really nice. I think what is nice about it, the people are participating in it, and it is in the open air and so beautifully done.
With the urban nightscape transformed into an enchanting space with clever lighting, the troupe performed gravity-defying trapeze acts, air juggling and other stunts to foot-tapping music, and all the while encouraging the audience to be a part of the act.
I loved it because I am from France in Avignon, where we have a festival like that every year, which is very well known. We have had the same thing in France also, which was called Namaste France. And I think it's very good for the relation with our two countries.
Through stunning acrobatic stunts, they told an old French bedtime story about angels that roamed the earth, spreading love and happiness. And about a man who longed to meet the angels and how he finally succeeds.
The French Embassy did a very wonderful job of putting together some of their best talent to bring to India, and I'm very grateful that they could do that. I think it was a real special treat for us in Delhi.
The show was very nice and excellent. I like it too much. And the stars of France are very good. I want Bonjour India to be back again.
The show, which was also presented at the London Olympic Game 2012. Was quite unlike anything that you did remember from your childhood days. Adding to the magic of the evening was an inflated air balloon shaped like an angel that floated around towards the end as a final act of goodbye.
Many people who came for the Flying Angels show had to return home disappointed because the venue did not have enough space to accommodate all of them, which is why I do hope that some of them at least caught our show. Moving on, we have for you an art exhibition from the Lalit Kala Academy, which is titled Blooms.
A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. But what if, just what if, it really wasn't just a rose? It was instead the image of the sacred feminine, she who takes to life in gay abandon. Then can it be just a normal rose, or can it be called by any other name? It is this concept of magic realism that comes out strongly through the works of Ruhi Kapoor.
This particular show, I titled it Bloom after this painting called In Bloom. So it's basically women in the shape of a flower blossoming, expanding, experiencing, flying, floating, dreaming, branching out in the shape of a flower blossoming. So that's why I titled the show Bloom, where I've showed women well acquainted in their purest form with nature.
Sacred feminine is a recurring theme in Ruhi's work, but just as prominent is her admiration for nature and her fancy for bold, striking colors. Even when her medium changes from canvas to wood boards, or her technique from spatula strokes to a marble art base, the softness of her styles and the dreamy nature of her artwork remains.
The colour spectrum and how it's done out, it evokes within me a famous artist called Marc Chagall and also Van Gogh's Starry Night. But it's done with the sacred feminine again, and it's brought to an angelic realm. Here we see a picture of what is a woman's body, but this work is so celestial, and it sums up the cosmic yoni itself, that it's both masculine and feminine with the blues and the pinks and the Chandra. It's just an incredible piece of work.
Even though as an artist, Ruhi Kapoor has had no formal training, she has attended many international workshops and has learnt from fellow artists and teachers. And even when it is hard to find a central theme in the Bloom's exhibition, one can see an emerging artist at her experimental best.
Some of Ruhi Kapoor's works were truly inspirational. Now we do have more stories in our kitty, but before that, let's take a quick break.
Coming up, a celebration of feminism, fusion fever, and some mouth-watering delicacies.
Welcome back. The woman who is laughing and happy is a strong woman, says feminist writer Kamala Basan. Now imagine women like her in a single room. Now that spells fun with a capital F.
Seizing the opportunity on April Fool's Day, Jagori, in collaboration with India Habitat Centre, organised a fun-filled evening of laughter and music for a women's only gathering. The event was aimed at strengthening female solidarity and making them rise against patriarchy and violence. The element of laughter was induced by Kamala Basan and her stand-up comedy. She also launched the Hindi version of her joke book Laughing Matters, Hasna to Sangharsho mein bhi zaruri hai, which is about ridiculing the male dominance.
In any struggle, humor can be a very important political tool. Patriarchy, of course, doesn't like laughing women, because a laughing woman is a strong woman, is a strong-headed woman, fearless woman. Patriarchy doesn't like these things in women. So, we better laugh at patriarchy, ridicule patriarchy, show how terrible it is, and create equality for both men and women. So in this book there are jokes about all the stereotypes about women and men.
Music was the best weapon to convey their message. Kamala, accompanied by her fellow feminists, presented original compositions as a comment on the plight of women. Sonam Kalra with her band, the Sufi Gospel Project, took the message to a deeper level through her song Chalo Aaj Hum Ye Faisla Kar Le, dedicated towards women empowerment. As her songs are gospel-inspired, she presented Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah with inputs of her own.
Hallelujah, Hallelujah,
Their music was fresh and unique, which blended together different languages and religions, creating a single voice of faith.
There has been so much of activity. We've gone for so many protests. We've been, we've been struggling. It's been a long struggle, and the whole. So many organizations have come together, and we've been part of the movement for women's rights, and on so many issues we've been struggling. So today is really a day to let our head down and laugh at ourselves a bit,
जुल्म की छांव में दम लेने पे मजबूर हैं हम। जुल्म की छांव में दम लेने पे मजबूर हैं हम। एक जरा और सितम सहने तड़पने एक जरा।
Swang, a Mumbai-based cultural band, also participated. Their songs were inspired by legendary poets like Faiz Ahmed Faiz, Sahir Ludhianvi, and many others. Their songs were motivational and written as a means of protest and for women's rising. Though accompanied by Western instrumentation, their music did not lack the required tinge of Indianism.
One of our, I would say that we sing because one, we want to sensitize, we want to mobilize, and also we want to celebrate. So yes, some of our songs, most of our songs are protest songs, but we also have songs where we celebrate protest. And we celebrate those people who have, who work.
The event also had a small drama presentation directed by Sohela Kapoor. Titled The Haryana Hind Times, it was a comment on the social system.
And don't go and spend it all in that one place. Just enough for my afternoon snack.
As the experienced feminist had their way of expressing, the young were never far behind. DU's Miranda House girls presented famous songs declaring that a woman isn't weak.
I think women actually have that spirit of laughter and, of resilience, which is why they're able to take a lot of knocks in life. Women have that naturally. It's just that some express themselves like Kamlaji and some are shy. So I think it was a wonderful experience, and everybody had a really good.
With universal campaigns like the 1 Billion Rising and Save the Children, this was another attempt to safeguard the future of women using happiness and harmony to pave the way.
Humor has its way of working, and sometimes when combined with music, it can become a strong force, one even capable of dealing with patriarchy. Now moving on, fusion is something that the youngsters believe in these days, and sometimes this can give birth to some of the greatest inventions.
Akarshan Creations Indo-Fusion Music Festival was a fun-filled, youth-oriented event which provided a strong platform for the talented lot. With innovative ideas of fusion in music and dance, the stage was set ablaze.
कुछ कल्चर के लिए भी टाइम निकालो, टाइम के साथ साथ सब कुछ खत्म होता जा रहा है। आज किसी के पास टाइम नहीं है, सिर्फ एक ये रास्ता है जिससे आप लोग मिलते हैं। देख रहे हैं अब धीरे धीरे सब फेस्टिवल्स खत्म होते जा रहे हैं। यही एक चीज़ है जिससे कि आप लोग हमेशा हम सबके साथ एक दूसरे के साथ टच में रहें।
शुरू किया जा रहा है। So sweet, so beautiful. Yeah. Every day like queen on a throne. Do this.
The Banjara School of Dance, with their fusion of belly dancing with Odissi, was the first watch. Belly dancing, also known as Raqs Shariki, is believed to be a Middle Eastern phenomenon, mostly Egyptian. This style was fused with Odissi on Western music. It was interesting to note how the mudras were replaced with fast and fluid movements of the hips and the torso.
Fusion really deserves its own place in the world now because of the mind frames that people come from. They need to be broken. That's how you progress. That's how a country progresses. And especially the progression in art and culture is what makes the country grow. That's what I believe. The more growth in culture, the more growth in art, that's how much the country is going to grow. If we're fusing things, if you're bringing in different things into what we have, into our knowledge, we're only increasing in knowledge. You can't go wrong with that. You're only increasing, you can't decrease.
Fusion wasn't just limited to dance. Indian Sabre, a folk rock band, started with the famous Punjabi folk song Jugni, with strong vocals by Jaktinder Sidhu. With drums and guitars, their style was no less than a rock star's. Apart from this, the festival was quite an exhilarating affair with a salsa performance and more singing of the latest Bollywood numbers by young talents.
So after that entertaining and innovative take on fusion, it's time for us to go on a quick break. But do stay tuned because next is meal time.
Coming up, a fine dining experience.
Welcome back. My senses, especially that of smell and taste, sometimes takes me on fascinating journeys and quests. Food Trail has taken me to the dingiest of streets and also to the most fancy of restaurants which serve world's cuisine. And today, I'm at Claridges Hotel in one such restaurant. Walk into Sevilla, the dinner-only restaurant at Claridges Hotel, and you will get a sense of their culinary speciality. Moroccan hanging lamps, cool blues and whites of the Mediterranean, the gurgling of a flowing stream, and a dreamlike setting. Just perfect for a special night together.
Basically, this is a Mediterranean restaurant. We serve southern coastal cuisine from the Mediterranean countries like Spain, Italy, France, Morocco. We opened this place in 2006 and we were the first one who got the Spanish food culture to Delhi market. But what brings me here all by myself is the Josper Oven Food Festival.
Josper is a multitasking indoor barbecue which can grill, cook and do all sorts of things, kind of like a wonder machine.
We only use charcoal as energy. So it looks like a traditional oven with a front door, but inside, instead of gas or electricity, we have charcoal. So charcoal is a well-known flavor all around the world. All the traditional recipes around the world, in some way or another, they have charcoal flavor on it. So when we cook this, we are going to have a perfect charcoal flavor, that smoky flavor that everyone, let's say, loves, with a little bit better texture because we cook at very high temperature, so we sear very well the meat and the fish in general, so we keep the moisture inside.
The Spaniards love their tapas or small snacks, and legend has it that the tapas tradition began when Castile's king, Alfonso the Wise, recovered from an illness by drinking wine mixed with small dishes between meals. Asparagus is king at this time of year, and what better way to serve them than with a nutty romesco sauce, which has its origin in Catalonia, Spain. Roasted vegetables with a generous helping of olive oil and some grilled lamb with baked potatoes straight from the Josper oven also found their way to my table.
Now the thing about the Spaniards is they absolutely love their asparagus. They have it in two different ways, either grilled or salted, and here we have the grilled asparagus, which is served with romesco sauce, which is a very traditional dish, and the asparagus is as fresh as it can be, even though it came all the way from Spain. They also have served grilled lamb here, which is served with jacket potatoes, and the meat is so succulent and juicy that it's hard to believe that it's really grilled. And then there's that hint of rosemary when you dig deep in, so that's just perfect right there. And of course there's this really healthy serving of grilled vegetables with a little bit of cheese, and my, is that gorgeous.
Mealtime at Sevilla is about relaxing with a glass of wine and some great company. But if you need to serenade the love of your life, even that can be arranged.
The food, it was a beautiful taste of Spain in India. It was very enjoyable Mediterranean food. I thoroughly enjoyed the smoked lamb and the char-grilled vegetables. They were delicious.
The food was amazing. It was delicious, presented well, and it was a good reminder of the food back home.
But all this comes second best when compared to the food they offer. My main course had beautifully prepared jumbo prawns served with grilled escalivada, a Catalan dish that has grilled vegetables cooked and sautéed with olive oil with a hint of salt and garlic.
The best way to eat your grilled jumbo prawns is to simply peel off the skin from over the top with your fingers. There you go. It's quite an exercise, but I thoroughly enjoy doing it. And while you're at it, oh, look at that gorgeous texture right there. You could try to avoid licking the buttery fingers, but it is worth it. It's gorgeous. Absolutely fresh prawns. You can really sense and feel the taste of the sea there. And it's cooked to near perfection, because if you cook the prawns for too long, it tends to get rubbery. Here it's just absolutely perfect, and you can taste the real freshness of the dish. Oh wow. It's almost like a burst of flavors in your mouth, all three of these together.
The dessert menu is small and compact, but is all about the fruity wonders, like the panna cotta with figs and jam, or the yogurt ice cream served with smoked pineapples, best enjoyed with some musical company. A delightful climax to a memorable meal.
That silky smooth ice cream which is completely guilt-free and of course eggless, and then there is this smoked pineapple taste to club with that. Just absolutely perfect and completely different from something that you've generally tasted. Now let me get back to my dessert, but meanwhile I'll say goodbye to you. I'll see you next week on the same show. Do write to us through our Facebook page. Until later next week, goodbye, take care, happy eating.